When you're getting ready in the morning, when you're exercising, or when you just need a little boost. Download Mindset and listen to your favorite motivational speeches while getting ready for the day.
Did you ever stop and ask yourself, why is it that some people are more successful than others? Why is it that some people make more money, live longer, have better relationships? I was never good at anything. I got fired from multiple jobs. I even got fired from a job pumping gas once. Can you imagine that? Being fired for pumping gas because you're no good. They came out and said, you're no good at pumping gas. How can you be no good? Little old ladies can pump gas. And here I was no good at pumping gas. Anyway, so I got fired. I went from job to job. And then I discovered that all people who are successful are excellent at what they do. You know the old question they asked Willie Sutton, the bank robber, why do you rob banks? He said, that's where the money is. Well, being in the top 10% is where the money is. So what you have to do is you have to pay any price and make any sacrifice to get into the top 10% in your field.
How do people become successful and others don't? How does one become a part of the top 10%? In this video, you're going to learn 5 tips from the legendary Brian Tracy. A renowned author, speaker, and success strategist, Brian has spent decades unlocking the secrets of achievement and fulfillment. Are you ready to become a part of the top 10%?
Tip number 1, follow where success leads.
The first thing I did is I asked, how does it work? How do people succeed in this field? And then I buried myself and immersed myself. I spent hours and hours and hours studying, and then I did what the most successful people did. Interesting point. We say that nature is neutral. In other words, nature doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care if you're tall or short or male or female or black or white, educated or uneducated. Nature doesn't care. All that nature cares is that you do what successful people do. It's like making a recipe. Nature doesn't care. You follow a recipe. If you follow the recipe exactly, you get the dish. Nature doesn't care who's doing it. And that's the wonderful thing about our society. It's basically like justice. It's blind, is nature doesn't care. In fact, there are a lot of people who are not as smart and not as talented as you who are doing vastly better than you, not because they're better, but because they're just following proven success methods.
As Brian explains, success leaves clues. There is a reason the repeated formula equals the same results. Do you have someone you admire that is successful? Look at what they did to become successful and try and repeat that. Study those who you are trying to be like, and you'll be amazed at what will happen. Tip number 2, dream big.
Practice what is called back from the future thinking and project forward. Develop a vision of yourself as happy, healthy, wealthy, thin. Practice what top people practice, which is what is called idealization. You project forward several years and you imagine that your life is perfect in every way. Imagine that you have no limitations. Imagine that you have all the time and all the money and all the friends and all the contacts and all the education, all the experience, and that you could be or have or do anything you want in life. If you could, what would it be? If your life were perfect in 5 years, what would it look like? How much would you be earning? How much would you be worth? What kind of a family life would you have? What kind of health would you have? What kind of car would you be driving? What would your life be like if you could wave a magic wand and make it perfect in every way? Now, what we have found is this is the starting point of great riches, and it's the starting point of great success in life, is for you to have a dream or a vision of a wonderful future.
It's easy to get lost in the grandiose of big dreaming, but it's important to have those big dreams and visions if you ever want to be successful. By creating something that you can shoot for, it helps motivate and reminds you on the hard days what you're going after. Tip number 3, commit to excellence.
You know the old question they asked Willie Sutton, the bank robber, why do you rob banks? He said, that's where the money is. Well, being in the top 10% is where the money is. So what you have to do is you have to pay any price and make any sacrifice to get into the top 10% in your field. Now, here's the good news. If you're doing what you love to do, you will want to be in the top 10% in your field. If you don't want to be excellent at what you're doing, it means you're in the wrong field. It just means that you're marking time, you're treading water. And there's a lot of people who are in their field and they do their job and they go home at night, they don't think about their work and so on. And this kind of an attitude means that you have no future.
To be successful, you can't give the bare minimum and expect the world to bend to your will and give you what you want. If you don't give 150% every day, you won't have what you want. To become successful, you must be committed to being the best each and every day. Tip number 4, persuasion is key.
it's very much like cooking in the kitchen, is just because you have all the right ingredients in the kitchen does not mean that you can cook. So it's learning how to sell, and I teach this, and I've taught
You
this.
have a great book also.
I have several books, and I have taken people who are starting at the bottom, and they've become rich because they learned how to sell. And the more they sold, the more confident they become, and the more persuasive they were, the more effective they were, the higher was their self-confidence, the higher their self-esteem.
Having good services and products is one thing, but to be able to persuade your customers and your target audience that they need what you are providing is a whole other thing. Persuasion is key when it comes to becoming successful. To be able to convince someone to buy in to what you're providing is an extremely important aspect to becoming successful. Tip number 5, improve someone's life with what you have to offer.
Because everyone is skeptical, and because the average person in France or the US receives 3,000 to 5,000 commercial messages, advertisements of some kind each day, everywhere. People are skeptical, so you have to break through that skepticism. And the way you do that is you think, what is it that my potential customer really needs and wants to improve their life? What are the problems that they have that my product can solve? What are the needs that they have that my product can satisfy? What are the goals that they have that my product can help them to achieve? And then you say to them, if you have this problem or need, my product or service is something you should look at, and let me explain to you why it can help you. That's how you sell. You sell by teaching, by finding people who can benefit from your product or service far more than the cost, and then you teach them how your product or service can help them to improve their life.
Part of the reason there are so many successful people who continue to be successful is because they have solved a problem that others need a solution to. If you look at people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, and Bill Gates, part of the reason they became successful and legendary is because they saw the answer to a problem people were facing.
Nobody ever makes it on their own. One of the great lessons of life. We all need help from others to get over the rough spots on the journey of life.
But remember, success isn't just about knowing what to do. It's about taking action. As Brian often says, move fast, take action, get it done. So as you close this video, make a commitment to apply at least one principle you've learned today. What was your favorite part of the video? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to like and subscribe to keep up with our latest videos.